autograph, please.
Ah, hello. Greetings, Your Majesty. I hear you have a kind heart, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, hello.
Business is
Mighty
good,
one.
very good. You are fortunate. That is on sale. Prices are high, but that's because of high demand. It's worth everything. I offer a special discount on that. Everything must go. Clearance sale.
Stars above.
You get
The
what you
king.
pay for. High quality at a low price. You can't
How
beat
are
it.
you, Your Majesty?
It's worth everything you paid and more. You are fortunate. That is on sale. I ask not for myself, but for my children.
Seems
You
like good
get what you
business.
pay for.
Property ownership and rental.
Ah, it is you, always.
Balverines? I've killed 50 of them, with nothing but a rusty cutlass. The moon? I've been there, in a great balloon. It's amazing, and almost never rains. Spells and that, I know them all. Cuisine? Every dish ever prepared, I've eaten it. Inventions? That was me. I invented them. Oh, and I wrote this book. Not impressed? Well, you would be if you knew I was illiterate. And paralysed. And blind.
Hello to you, Your Highness.
A wise choice. Thank you for your custom. I wager you'll not find a better bargain. Thank you for your custom. Thank you for your custom. A wise choice.
Do come in.
I
and
have
look
the
at my
strongest,
prices.
most exotic elixirs and
I'm at your
potions
command.
ever brewed.
Marvelous. Thank you.
How may I help you
And
this
enjoy.
day?
I hope
My thanks.
You've made a fine purchase.
It's as true in Aurora
pleasure to
as it
command.
is incredible
A
but
very
true.
good purchase.
This shop
I
is
hope
owned by
you
one of
enjoy no such
Albion's
thing.
elite.
I
I'll
hope
take
you
them
enjoy
all.
Best in
I
all
hope you
Aurora.
enjoy it. You've made a fine
Incredible
purchase.
but true. This shop
Your Majesty. Well done! That's quality there, mate.
The world needs a big, strong man to...
Get about 100 handkerchiefs. Stealing them is an economical alternative to buying them. Stitch, glue, or tape them together, tie a string to each corner, go to the highest place you can find, put 2 strings in each hand, and then jump off. Note, this activity does pose significant risks, and should not be attempted except under favourable wind conditions. Even then, you'd have to be completely insane.
Greetings, sir.
How are you, Your Majesty?
You certainly are a big, strong hero for a lady.
Now you've got it!
Are you lost? Can I help you starve and die?
Ladders have myriad uses, being of great value if one needs to assault a castle or clean the gutters. However, whatever the task at hand, the climber should take care to ensure the ladder is properly balanced and safely angled, and that a third party is present to spot the climber. Further, this spotter should be careful to stand on the outside of the ladder, not underneath, and should ideally move quickly out of the way in the event that the climber accidentally drops a very large joiner's mallet. In retrospect, a more apt name for this treatise would have been Dangerous Things Joiner's Mallets.
Winter's my favourite season. I love the snow. And that's when most people die. I'd like to get to know...
Majesty.
Your Majesty? Your Majesty?
It's more beautiful than I dared to imagine. And heavy, too. Our experts estimate it's worth a small fortune. Of course, now the question becomes, what do you wish to do with this fine stone? Shall I deposit the money from the sale into the treasury? Or perhaps you would prefer the funds were channeled into, let us say, a more personal account? Who knew that a Roran sandpit could hold such wonders? A truly selfless act. I am constantly in awe of your generous and noble spirit. Putting the safety of your people before your own reward. Bravo, Your Majesty. Bravo. The Treasury is looking rather sickly, wouldn't you agree? We must always be wary of unnecessary expenditures and watch out for possible avenues of profit. With that in mind, I would like to discuss the thorny issue of child benefits, which were abolished under your brother's rule. There are vocal elements within the community who are clamouring for us to bring it back. In the interests of the Treasury and of the long-term welfare of the people, I have a counter-proposal. It's somewhat radical, but rather brilliant, if you don't mind me saying. We charge people for every child they have. This would keep the population low, but more importantly, the Treasury high. Is it really fair to bring new life into such an uncertain world? And won't that gold go to help the children who have already been born? Of course, you may also choose to keep Logan's policies. The matter is entirely in your hands. Very well, Your Majesty. The breeders amongst the rabble will be ecstatic, I'm sure. Perhaps you are considering making a personal donation to the Treasury to make up for the shortfall. It is entirely your decision, as always. Shall we proceed with the rest of your appointments? Here is the royal agenda for the day. As you can see, you have 2 audiences in the throne room to begin. I've heard rumours that Reva's latest proposals are both scandalous and delicious. It should be most entertaining.
Daddy, I can't believe it! Daddy!
Greetings, sir.
I want to come too.
At your orders, sir?
All stand to attention for the King of Albion.
Yippee! Greetings, most munificent and mighty sovereign of...
This hearing concerns the future of the Bowerstone Shelter and Orphanage. Paige will speak for the disenfranchised people of the city. Reva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, the shelter has long been the only refuge for the homeless, the poor, and the orphaned. And until we can change the whole world for the better, it will continue to be their only hope of survival. Isn't it time we held out a helping hand to those who need it most? The shelter is underfunded and the building has fallen into disrepair. Invest in the shelter and orphanage, and perhaps we can begin to create a better future for Albion's forgotten people.
I could not agree more. The city and its people are in dire need. But it is not charity they require. It is love. I propose we use this dilapidated building to help both them and ourselves, for love and money have always gone hand in hand. Let us inaugurate Bowerstone's first brothel.
A brothel?
Brothel, bordello, whorehouse. The name is unimportant. What matters is that the people get the love they need, and we get their money.
Yes, it's for your majesty to decide. Refurnish the shelter and orphanage, or convert it into a house of ill repute.
The poor of this city have suffered enough. We will renovate the shelter and orphanage.
The Bowerstone shelter shall be refurbished at the Crown's expense.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You've done the right thing.
As you wish, Your Majesty. The parentless tykes and their destitute friends shall have a palace to call their own. Are you a beggar, too lazy to own your own clothes? Or perhaps an orphan, aching for a bowl of gruel? Then come to Riva Industries Shelter and Orphanage, where you'll find food, beds, clothes, and even new parents. No matter who you are, we care, even if you don't deserve it.
Today, you will deal with a pressing environmental issue, the disposal of the city's waste. Riva will offer his proposal. A member of the Morningwood community will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you will have noticed a certain aroma permeating the city of late, even more nauseating than usual. I fear it is not merely the stench of the underprivileged. Bowerstone is beginning to have a serious waste disposal issue. We require an inexpensive and efficient solution, and I believe I have hit upon one. Now, currently, part of our waste is being disposed of in the Morningwood Marsh. With very little effort, Riva Industries could redirect all of the Bowerstone sewer system to flow directly into that region. As you know, it's a desolate place with no financial or cultural value to the kingdom. There can be little discussion as to the logic of this decision.
Hang on, this isn't right. Not right at all. We're all children of the soil. It's in our hearts, it's in our blood. It's under our fingernails. What I mean is we're all equal when it comes to dirt, like. From dirt we come to dirt we go, yes? We who reside in Morningwood have as good a claim to being clean as anyone. And what of Morningwood itself? Its nature spirits, its woodland elves, and water fairies. Do they not deserve freedom from pollution too? Don't destroy paradise with your urban dregs, man. Channel the waste. Be one with the cycle of life. You have all these, factories and stuff, don't you? Turn one into a, what do you call it? One of those things, a sewage reclamation facility. Right on.
What shall you decide, Your Majesty?
Morningwood is to be left unspoiled. We will find other ways to deal with Bowerstone's sewage problem.
The King has spoken. Morningwood shall not be used as a waste site. The Sanitation Committee will look into safer alternatives.
Groovy. You are like a majestuous eagle, Your Majesty. You are in touch with your inner innards. Granny Nature thanks you from, like, the bottom of her heart.
A pity. I must admit I was rather looking forward to breathing fresh air, but I'm sure Your Majesty knows best. There is nothing as important as the health and hygiene of our citizens. As such, Riva Industries is delighted to announce the opening of the Bowerstone Sewage Recycling Facility, because there can be no affluence without effluence.
The day is almost over, Your Majesty. Only one more appointment left. Page has requested a meeting in the old rebel headquarters. How very cloak and dagger. I wonder what she wants. I don't know what to say. Hi.
It's not every day a king walks into the rebel headquarters. You've changed the world since we last stood here.
You had a lot to do with it, Paige.
But we still haven't changed things enough. Without Logan's troops, crime is becoming a serious problem. There's one man in particular, Nigel Ferret. He's making this city his own. Every criminal in Bowerstone reports to him now. He's too powerful for me to deal with, and he's not easy to find. But I know how you can get to him. Good. Kid went undercover with a gang of robbers and found out their plans. They're going to strike the tavern in Bowerstone Market. If you get there in time, you can stop the raid. And at least one of those thugs must know where Ferret is holed up.
If you cooperate, you won't get hurt. But if you give us any trouble, we'll kill you. Now, just so you know we mean business, I'd like one of you to give us trouble, so we can kill him as an example to the rest. Who's it gonna be then? Oh look, we have a volunteer. The king, no less. Have at him, fellas.
This guy's rich. We're gonna have fun looting his corpse. Don't worry, just a scratch. Shit!
I don't want to die.
You're not doing that to me, you bastard! Parried you! My turn!
It is no longer advantageous for any of us to frequent the hideout in Industrial. Presently, I shall inaugurate a new centre of operations in Bowerstone Market. You've been provided with a key which will permit access. Please endeavour to prevent its transference to an unauthorised individual.
Oh. You're a great leader, Your Majesty. Perhaps better than Albion deserves.
Yeah! Let's change the subject.
Yeah!
Greetings,
my lord.
only sensible thing. I built a sewage treatment centre.
I get it.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
All right!
At your command.
Greetings, my lord.
My
Hello,
king.
Your Royal Majesty.
Sir?
At
Sorry?
your orders, sir. Sovereign.
You again. It does tend to obviate the entire objective of maintaining a secret hideout if your enemies can simply infiltrate whenever they've the inclination. Lads, perform the specific services for which I employ you. Expeditiously.
Huh?
Kill him. Fast.
You're a worm on a hook and we're the fish. No, wait. You're still standing, mate. Hit him back. You can't let the filth bag block you like that. Don't! There! Blocked! Eat it, arseface! Try and parry him, you bloody fool! What? I've never seen combat skills.
My dear Bob, you're a ruthless crook and a big booby as well. And since you are a ruthless crook, I'm not signing this letter so that I can remain anonymous. Ha ha! Yours, Arthur. Oh.
They kidnapped me! Please let me out!
Never killed a king before. Looking forward to it. Ooh! Well... You twit! I believe I can state with relative confidence that your efforts are in vain. Even should it transpire that you vanquish my associates, this door is completely impenetrable. In addition to which, this cell contains a secret egress through which I may abscond whenever I desire. Meanwhile, my compatriots shall brutalize your person.
I'm gonna dance on your entrails! There you are, then! Little something for it. Love seeing people burn. Yeah! Am I good or what? Yeah!
You haven't lost your touch. I'm surprised his men were foolish enough to fight you.
Now, truth be told, my superlative intellect notwithstanding, it would appear this is not, in fact, the specific cell I so confidently referenced earlier. The one with the secret exit has 2 beds. All right, you have prevailed, Your Majesty. I concede. However, I entreat you to entertain a certain proposal.
You have nothing to offer, Ferret. It's over.
That pronouncement is objectively devoid of merit. I happen to have on my person a substantial quantity of currency. Let me go free, and the money is yours.
As far as I'm concerned, you can stay in there and rot. But that's for the king to decide.
You royal miscreant! This grievous malefaction shall be rewarded with equally grievous retribution.
I'm sorry to say we are falling well short of expectations. The treasury holds nowhere near enough gold. But the kingdom demands your attention once more. The time has come to make a decision on Albion's drinking laws. Under Logan's rule, our citizens are restricted in the amount of alcohol they can purchase per day. As you can imagine, this has proved a rather unpopular measure. And yet many respected members of the community think the law does not go far enough. They would like alcohol consumption wholly abolished among the commoners. They feel, rather reasonably, that it leads to improper behavior and raucous public spectacles. These concerned nobles are willing to pay handsomely for the change in policy. Meanwhile, the commoners themselves would like the restrictions completely lifted, claiming they infringe upon their freedom and their rights. You cannot please everyone, Your Majesty, but you must make a decision. The residents of Millfields will be most pleased. They will find it money well spent, and I find it money well received. Let us move on to other matters, Your Majesty. You have a busy day in the throne room ahead. Samuel, the head of the Brightwall Academy, is ready to plead his case. I sincerely hope he isn't after a handout, though I'm sure Master Reaver will be the voice of reason, as always.
Welcome to the Sanctuary.